In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Crowdfire to manage the social media for your business. Now, it won't do absolutely everything. There's definitely some things you're going to have to do directly in your social networks, individually, like Facebook or Instagram. But it does help things along quite a bit. So, the first thing we need to do is log in to Crowdfire. I'm already logged in here. I'll just log out so you can see how it's done actually. Give a quick log out, yes. So Crowdfire allows you to log in using one of your social networks, either Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. So I'll use Instagram because I already have it open. Here's my Adventure Dorks Instagram. I'm logged in another browser window. And here's Crowdfire in another tab. So I'm going to click sign in, and it asks me sign in Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. So I'm going to choose Instagram. Just allow it to load. You'll see it's spinning up here. It's checking my credentials against Instagram. Whenever you log into Crowdfire, it will give you a news update about what's going on with Crowdfire. I am currently using the free version. There is a pro version. It's not very expensive. Actually, it's quite affordable, and it allows you to do a lot more, especially any of these new fancy features. So it's always good to keep yourself updated on what's new because they're changing things all the time. As social networks change, they have to update and stay ahead of the curve as well. So pay attention to this when you're logging in. I'm just going to skip it for now. So I get an ad about the 25% off for plans because I am currently using the free plan. I'm just going to close out of that. So this is your basic dashboard. Across the top you have a menu, and then you also have a menu on the left-hand side. The menu on the top is home is your main dashboard, which is where we are. You have this profile selector. I only have the one profile. I believe adding new profiles is an upgrade. So that's if you're managing multiple businesses, you can have multiple different profiles right up in one login. Mentions is also new. It's and again, it's a pro upgrade, but you can always click on it and follow through. It basically lets you know when you have been mentioned on social network and allows you to respond directly through Crowdfire rather than going to the Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Scheduled, if I click on that, you'll see any scheduled posts you have will show in this main content area, but make sure you are noting which social network it is referring to. So it automatically defaults to Twitter if you have Twitter connected. But if I click on that, you can choose Instagram or Facebook. As you can see, I'm not really using this feature very much right now. I'm not using Crowdfire at the moment. Just taking a little break, and so I don't have any scheduled posts, but I will show you how to do scheduled posts. There's this one scheduled post into Facebook, but we'll work on that as I show you as I go along. At the top, back to the top menu, if you click Accounts, you can see all the networks that you have connected. So I have Twitter connected, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our blog. And then there's other things you can add as well. If you want to follow other content that has an RSS feed, so other people's blogs, things like that, you can add that also. I think it would be adding it under here, connecting it under blog. You can actually follow other people's blogs. And that way, if you have influencers that you're following that you want to share their content frequently, it will show up in your dashboard for you to easily share the content. And again, I'll show you exactly how you share content through Crowdfire as we go along. So then there's a little note here about Twitter feature changes. So you can click on that and it'll bring you. So whenever there's a critical change or anything big and new, they'll let you know right away. Of course, upgrade for more features. There's this notifications bell to if you click on that, you get this really fancy sort of notifications news feed, and they may have a little fun with it here. And then they have announcements up here. So if you've missed anything because you haven't logged in a while, you can always go back and read the different announcements that they've made. And then settings brings you into a deeper version of your accounts and your profile and all these other things, billing, etc. So you can always come in here and make sure it's set up to have all the information you need. Like I can put a photo in here, make sure your brand is listed. You can change your topics at any time. So these topics are how it chooses articles and content for you. I'll show you that in a minute. You can choose specific locations, set your time zone, and if you want a weekly report email or never, I'm going to actually update mine to never because I don't want to get the emails. I would rather just come in here and check myself. And also you can get an email sent to you when your queue is empty. And I'm just going to turn mine off so I don't receive those emails. So that's been saved. So if I go back to the home, you can also see that on the left hand side there's a menu. Articles is the first one. So that's what fills this content area. So these articles are based on those topics that I showed you under settings, but also here's a shortcut link to it right here. So if we want to update our topics, we can click here and you can choose all the different topics that are relevant to your business. And again, when you upgrade, you get, I believe, unlimited amount of topics and a certain amount in the free plan. They actually give you quite a lot in the free plan. So it's a great starter. A great way to start is with the free plan, and then you can always upgrade if you find it very useful and that you're using it regularly. Sometimes these articles may not even be relevant to you at all, but often they are, so you can scroll through and pick something that's curated specifically for you, for the topic that you have chosen, and share it to your social networks. So if I wanted to share an article, for example, let's see if I can find one that's relevant. So this Carlsberg one, we often post about food and beverages and things like that. So this would be an interesting topic for our audience. So I would click share, and then I would choose the social network that I want to share it to. I'll look and see, it's already giving me a little new notification. So it's really neat. So always pay attention to these little news updates. So I'm going to just actually add Facebook. So when I click on one of these social networks, it pops up all the social networks list, and you can select from these profiles that are connected. So I'm only going to do Facebook this time, not Twitter or Instagram. So I'll just select Facebook, click done, and post at best time will allow Crowdfire to determine when your audience is more likely to read that article than not. You can also, if you click the little arrow, you can post right away, or you can post at a custom time, and that's how you get your scheduled posts. You can pick a day and a time. So I'm actually going to pick post at best time, and then you just click it. So that will now show up in my scheduled tab. When I make sure the Facebook part is selected, and you can see it shows up here. Now, one of the downfalls of Crowdfire is that in Facebook it only shows the link. It doesn't actually preview how it's going to display on Facebook. But what Facebook does is it just takes the image and an excerpt from the article and shows it with your article. So if you want to add context around it, you have to remember what the article was, click edit. Take a minute to load here. Let me try that again. There, edit. So I know this is the Carlsberg one, so I can add my own opinion here, like interesting updates on the beer world. And then click post at best time, and it will save my comments to be displayed with that article. And you can see when it's saying the best time is February 9th at 1:04 p.m. So going back to home, so you've got articles. Images is another option. So this is primarily selected from Instagram. So if you wanted to repost other popular Instagram posts, you can choose from something from this feed. So you can scroll through and look at it. My internet's running a little slow, so they're not loading right now, but this is an example that it has loaded already. So if we wanted to share that, we would just click share and share it to Instagram. And now Instagram doesn't allow any third-party apps to post right away. So what it does instead is you have your Crowdfire app on your smartphone, and your smartphone will notify you when you have scheduled this post, your Instagram post. And all you have to do is click open in Instagram, and then it copies all the information over to Instagram, and you just have to click paste and then share, and it's just a couple of buttons. You don't have to rewrite it or copy and paste or anything. It's just really 3 button clicks to get it posted. So your posts would then be based on my blog posts, because we've connected our blog. It also, I believe, it says blogs, videos, and stories that you've connected, or stores you've connected. Anyways, we've connected a blog and a YouTube channel, so you can see that various blog posts from the past have been displayed here. So if I wanted to share one of my blog posts, I would just click share. I'm just going to give it an update because we have a new blog post. Oh, but it's just the videos it's showing right now. RSS, so this is if you've subscribed to other people's blogs. Again, that's a premium feature. So again, like I said, if you're following an influencer or several influencers and their blogs and you want to share their content frequently, you can add their RSS feeds here and share their posts directly in Crowdfire. And then there's the analytics tab, and there's a bunch of different options here. Just another way to check your measurements. I always like to actually go to the individual social networks because they have in-depth analytics, but this is a good way to get a quick overview. There's also a bulk posts option if you want to create a spreadsheet of posts and then upload it. Then you can post a whole bunch of stuff all at once. So that is basically how you use Crowdfire for your business. And often Crowdfire will send you notifications as well that you can follow, and it helps you, it helps automate your management and walks you through all of this so you don't have to remember it. And it'll do that on a daily basis. So on your smartphone, or if you have your computer enabled to have notifications, just pay attention to any little notifications coming from Crowdfire, and spend the 5 minutes it takes to walk through it every day, and you'll be loading up your social media profiles pretty quickly with great content.